and welcome to another week of our virtual pre-K art day. We are going to be reading the book Sulwe this week by Academy Award-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o. You may recognize her from the movie Black Panther, or grown-ups, you may remember her from the movie Us, a scary movie. But I love this story and I'm really excited to share this with you. Afterwards, we're going to be becoming engineers and making a shooting star. It's going to be a real challenge, and you're definitely going to need a grown-up helper. So, while you tell your grown-up, hey, I need your help, you can go ahead and read our story. So if you have this book at home, go ahead and grab it, but if not, let's get in close. Sulwe, written by Lupita Nyong'o. Sulwe was born the color of midnight. She looked nothing like her family, not even a little, not even at all. Mama was the color of dawn, Baba the color of dusk, and Mick, her sister, was the color of high noon. Hardly anyone at school looked like Sulwe either. People gave her sister Mick pet names like Sunshine and Ray and Beauty. People gave Sulwe names like Blackie and Darky and Night. Sulwe felt hurt every time, so she hid away while her sister made lots of friends. Sulwe dreamed of being the same color as her sister. She wanted real friends, too. So she got the biggest eraser she could find and tried to rub off a layer or two of her darkness. That hurt. She crept into Mama's room and helped herself to her makeup. Oh no, she would hear about this from Mama. Sulwe decided to work from the inside out and ate only the lightest, brightest food. With a stomachache, she went to bed early and turned to God for a miracle. Dear Lord, why do I look like midnight when my mother looks like dawn? Please make me as fair as the parents I'm from. I want to be beautiful, not just to pretend. I want to have daylight. I want to have friends. If you hear me, my Lord, and would like to comply, may I wake up as bright as the sun in the sky. Amen. When Mama came in to wake her for school the next morning, Sulwe rose to find not a trace of daylight in her midnight skin. Sulwe told Mama everything. Mama asked, "What is your name?" "Sulwe," she muttered. "And what does it mean?" "Star," Sulwe whispered. Brightness is not in your skin, my love. Brightness is just who you are. As for beauty, Mama said, rubbing Sulwe's stomach the way she always did to comfort her, you are beautiful. Sulwe sighed. Well, you are beautiful to me, but you can't rely on what you look like to make you feel beautiful, my sweet. Real beauty comes from your mind and your heart. It begins with how you see yourself, not how others see you. Now, up you get and out you go. How could she, as dark as she was, have brightness in her? How could she have beauty when no one but her mother seemed to see it? How could she be a star? That night, A shooting star appeared at Sulwe's window. "The night sent me," the star said. "Come with me." Sulwe hopped onto the star and they went off. "Long ago, at the beginning of time," said the star, "there was night and day, and they were sisters. They loved each other very much, but people didn't treat the sisters the same. People gave Day pet names like Lovely and Nice and Pretty. People gave Night names like Scary and Bad and Ugly, and she felt hurt every time. Well, Night got fed up and walked right off the earth. Day stayed behind and enjoyed making everybody happy in the sun. But the day grew too long. Day began to really miss her sister. So did everybody else. There had to be a way to get her back. Day set off to find Night, and she did. "I miss you," said Day. "I miss you too," said Night, "but you don't know what it's like to be treated badly for being dark." "You're right, I don't," Day replied. "But what I do know is that we need you just the way you are. Come and see." Night returned and the people rejoiced. "We need the darkest night to get the deepest rest. We need you so that you can grow and dream and keep our secrets to ourselves." The stars chimed in. Brightness isn't just for daylight. Light comes in all colors, and some light can only be seen in the dark. While day had a golden glow and night had a silver sheen, elegant and fine. Day told her sister, "When you are darkest is when you are most beautiful. It's when you are the most you." Could it be that night did not need to change? Not even a little? Not even at all? Now that night and day were back together, a little bit of night returned to the day in the form of shadows. And a little bit of day returned to the night in the form of moonlight. They were inseparable from the moment on and promised to celebrate the brightness in each other, whether people chose to see it or not. "You see," the star explained, "we need them both on their sunniest days and their darkest night, and every shade in between. Together, they make the world we know, light and dark, strong and beautiful." Sulwe rose the next morning beaming. There would be no hiding anymore. She belonged out in the world, dark and beautiful, bright and strong. And if she ever needed a reminder of her brightness, she could look up at the sky on the darkest night to see for herself. Sulwe felt beautiful inside and out. The end. What did you think about that? I love this story. It makes me feel beautiful inside and out. And I'll let you in on a little secret. If you want to see her read her own story, there's a new show on Netflix called Bookmarks. You can see some people reading these stories, and you can actually see her reading her own book. It's really special. So check that out. It's called Bookmarks. All right, friends. If you do not have your thinking brain on yet, it is time to turn that on because we are going to be making shooting stars. I'll wind up my shooting star and let it go. Pretty awesome. Let me show you what you're going to need for today. So I have a water bottle, some paper, I have some cardboard and some scissor and a marker. I have a couple big jumbo paper clips and some rubber bands. I also have something called cellophane. Maybe you see these on some of your gift baskets or something like that, maybe even wrapped in flowers. It's clear so you can see through it. If you don't have this, that is okay. I also have, for our grown-up part of the project, a screwdriver that we're going to make some holes in our water bottle. And I have a little bit of paint for you to decorate. So let me take this apart and I'm going to show you how to make this. Now this is going to take some teamwork with you and your grown-up. We're going to be engineers today. An engineer is someone who makes things and puts things together and thinks about how to make things. Come on, buddy. Get my thing out. Well, here it comes. It's coming, it's coming. All right, grown-ups, the first thing that you're going to need to do to set up this project to make sure our young friends are safe, you are going to put a hole in the bottom of your water bottle and a hole in the lid. So take some time and make a hole in the bottom and the top of whatever water bottle you are choosing. While you do that, my young friends, we're going to make a star out of our cardboard. I'm going to show you how I make stars. Maybe you do them a little differently. I like to go up and down, and I have one triangle. Then I go across, and then back and down. And that way I have a star with 5 points. Now, some of you are really, really good at using your scissors. So if you feel comfortable, you're going to cut out that star. But if you're not ready to cut that star out yet, you can ask your grown-up too. So once you have your star cut out, you're going to grab your cellophane, your plastic. You're going to wrap that around. Let me show you. So Miss Ashley cut out a star earlier today out of her cardboard. I'm going to take my cellophane and then put my star inside of it. And then I close it off and I put a rubber band around it. And what that does, it makes it look like there's fire, like a shooting star going through the night sky. If you wanted to color your star, that would be good too. So inside of here, we have a shooting star with fire coming off of it, like it's flying in the sky. Alrighty, now it's time to really get our brains going. I have a rubber band right here. I'm going to put that on one of my paper clips. So I opened up that paper clip a little bit, and now I'm going to push it back there so it kind of closes it off, and it's less likely to fall out of our paper clip. Then I'm going to put that through the bottom of our water bottle. So Miss Ashley had to make a really big hole. It took her a couple of tries. Because my rubber band is really thick, I had to make a hole that was really wide. If your rubber band is a little thinner, you may not need a hole that big. I'm going to start to put that in the bottom of my shooting star bottle. get that, push it down until that paper clip is sitting right there. I need some help to get that all the way through, don't I? So with my other paper clip, I'm going to turn it into a hook. So, look closely. I open that bottom part up, and then I do it again. So now I have a paper clip that looks like a hook. It's a straight line, and maybe it looks like a J, or an R, depending on how you hold it, but it's going to be our hook. So I'm going to put that inside of our water bottle. And I'm going to grab, it may take me a couple tries, I'm going to grab that rubber band. Alrighty. Now this may be some teamwork action right here with you and your grown-up. With our hooked part, I'm going to put that through. My hands are all sweaty. I'm going to put that through the hole of my lid. And to make sure it stays, I'm going to use my muscles. I'm going to bend that paper clip a little bit more. And that way, it stays. So I have a paper clip on the bottom holding my rubber band. I have a paper clip hooked on the inside of my rubber band. And I've bent it so that it points out. Now, you can take some time and decorate your paper. So let's say I wanted to use my finger, because Miss Ashley likes to get messy when she paints. I'm going to use my finger and maybe make some dots, like there's stars in the sky too. Once you have that, you can wrap it around your bottle. So we're hiding all of that inside. But maybe your engineer brain likes to see the parts working. So this is a part you don't have to do. It just makes it look more of a shooting star in the sky. Okay. Now we're going to connect our shooting star to our bottle. And to do that, I'm just going to slip this part that we bent into our paper clip here. Just slip it right in. And then I have to wind it up. So I use my finger, and I wind, and I wind, and I wind until it feels really tight. So what you're doing on the inside is twisting that rubber band all the way around until it gets really tight. I can kind of feel it getting tight now. And then when I let it go, woo! All of that energy that we put on the inside of our water bottle, it explodes and our shooting star spins around our water bottle. Now engineers have to look at something, and if it doesn't work right, they have to think about how to make it work better. So if yours doesn't work the first time, use that brain and figure out how you can make it better. All right, friends, that is a really challenging project today. And if you were able to do it, I want you to pat yourself on the back for trying. I'm really proud that I was able to put this together. And if you put it together with your grown-up, you should be really proud because it was really hard. All right, friends, so we're going to end our pre-K art day like we always do. We're going to sing a little tune called Don't Worry, Be Happy. If you know the words, grown-ups, sing nice and loud, and hopefully you've been following along, and you know some of the words too. So I'm going to start. When I nod, it's time for you to join me. Here's a little song I wrote. You might like to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. Thank you for being an engineer with